What's up, everybody? Just wanted to make a quick video kind of explaining the basics of healing in a raid. It might seem pretty simple or obvious on what you should do. There's a couple things that are probably not so obvious that maybe people might benefit from that are still considered the basics and not super advanced. So anyway, without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, for the absolute basics, we're going to go over rotation here. And before I get into the rotation, there is an add-on that I highly recommend called Buff Timers. It's the green bars you see counting down there. You can outfit it to show all the skills that you want, but typically these two, radiating and vigor, I have up just because I forget vigor sometimes if I don't, and radiating and vigor have the same duration, so I just stack them both together. I don't want any of those to fall off, but as you can see here, it's a very laggy keep fight, and it's not always possible to keep 100% uptime, but that add-on there is for those who want to get as close as possible. So your actual rotation, it's very simple. You want 4 radiating if you're in a 12-man. We're going to assume you're in a 12-man if you're watching this video, 10 to 12-man. 4 radiating, 2 vigors, illustrious on damage points and fall points, and then you also, like if you're on a Magnite Blade and you have Refreshing Path, putting that on a damage point, putting that on a fall point, things like that are obviously good ideas. The more healing you stack, the less chance you have of dying. But then as far as your reactionary heals, your burst heals, those are obviously reserved for, when you're bursted down. But if you're stacking all your hots effectively and everybody's doing their job, you hardly ever take that much damage to where you need that burst heal. And if you do find yourself in that situation, you probably have your ultimate. If you're on a Magnite Blade, casting your ultimate before the push, Magnite Blade healer, the tether, casting that right before the push is crucial because you want that hot. That's a massive heal over time. But yeah, so that's the basic. It's real simple. It's the 4 radiating and the 2 vigors. Try and keep those up as much as possible. And that's it for rotation. Okay, so I'm not going to go over CP builds, all that stuff. We're going to assume that you have a raid lead that's setting you up in the proper raid builds. This is going to be, most of these clips are going to be high ping, and it's going to come down to prioritizing what you cast and making it possible to play in lag. That is a big part of raiding, unfortunately, especially if you raid in Greyhost. But yeah, it comes down to stacking the hots, obviously, but then also prioritizing what skills go off when it's almost impossible to cast. In this clip, I'm on a Magic and Nightblade. There's a faction stack of this keep trying to kill us with a coordinated group. So I'm going to pop Tether here because I noticed we don't have a barrier on us. And I also don't know what's around the corner. So that hot from Tether is going to keep us alive if we were to get ripped right here around the corner, or at least help dampen the damage. And it is a good idea to have the Magic and Nightblades in group. But either way, you want to be prepared for what you see and what you don't see. Okay, so here they called it we're going to rip at the door, so I cast Illustrious. On the damage point, it's a good idea, even if it's just for a second, that they're going to be stationary, you cast Illustrious. And also, if you're running Master Resto, it helps if they are stunned on the push to help regen some stam. So it is crucial to cast that on damage points and fall points, but it just adds to the hots, which that's the name of the game.
Masters on inner corner here. Box. Everyone, resources right here. Resources right here. Might pull in the corner behind in 3, 2, 1. Might pull in the.
So when you know that people are low on resources. Typically, it's because of stam, because of having to break free. So when people call for resources, I always do illustrious first with the master resto, just to make sure that they get that stam regen, and then I go for an orb. Orbs are great for obvious reasons, but that's typically what I prioritize, especially in laggy situations. Lag eats your stam, so illustrious is king.
Dropping down here to the back flag. 3, 2, 1.
At this point, we know that keeping Hots up and casting Illustrious on damage points is crucial, but it is also crucial for fall points. And it's kind of two reasons. Obviously, with all your Hots up and casting Illustrious underneath you when you fall, that's going to help heal. It's going to assist that damage, but also it's not a bug, it's not an exploit, but the servers are kind of slow, and that's no secret. You can actually out heal the spike damage to proc Earthgore, or to prevent Earthgore from proccing. So that is crucial. It's an absolutely crucial reason to cast Illustrious on fall points. Sometimes you might not be able to, and that's okay, but it is something to strive for, to have it on every fall that you take. Another add-on I would like to mention is RDK. A lot of people are apprehensive about running it because they're afraid they're going to be judged by their numbers, which in a sense you are kind of judged by your numbers, but not in a bad way, especially if you're with a good group. It is a tool to know what needs to be improved, and it is very crucial for healers. It's something that's imperative, I think. And you also can set it up to where, as you see on my screen, the lead has a red bar or a red beam that is hovering over them. That helps me keep track of raid, especially in high stress situations. This add-on comes in clutch in every situation, actually. But yeah, it's something. It's a tool that helps the overall group, and it helps you improve as well. So I highly suggest it. I don't like running in groups, even small man groups that don't have it. It's basically become a staple for me in this game. So other than that, another key point that I want to touch on to end the video, essentially is if you're negated. So everybody should have vigor on their bar. Everyone should have the yellow vigor. So DDs, healers, support, everybody should be running it. And having that uptime is very important, obviously, but also using it in situations like if you're carpet negated, the only thing that you're going to get off as a heal is going to be your vigor. So it's very important if you're negated, everybody cast vigors, but obviously the healers cast vigors. Make sure that happens. But other than that, I think I've covered everything for a video about the basics. If you have any questions, please let me know. And have a good day.